Then you have symbolic signs. So symbolic signs, we have traffic signal ahead, which means that it's just giving you a symbol that there's something ahead. You have traffic signals ahead. Then you have your traffic control stop ahead, which means there's a stop ahead. Traffic control yield ahead, which means that you should slow down. It's just warning you it's coming ahead. The first one was traffic signal ahead, traffic control stop ahead, traffic control yield ahead. Then you have your pedestrian crossing, pedestrians. Then you have children. So the first one was a pedestrian crossing, and then pedestrians. So pedestrian crossing is just showing you a person, people, pedestrians walking over a crossing. That's why you have those stripes under the pedestrian, because he's crossing the road now. And then this is just warning you that there is pedestrians. Overall, you should be vigilant for pedestrians, people walking there. There's no crossing, but there's people walking there. And the other one is just the same. There's children walking there. There's no crossing, but there's children walking there, so you should be careful. And then you have pedal cyclists. You should be careful for pedal cyclists and domestic animals such as kettles. Domestic animals, kettles. So then we have children, which was this one, children. And then we have pedal cyclists, and that's that one. And then domestic animals, kettle, is that last one. So the next one is domestic animals, horses, which is that one. Domestic animals, sheep, which is that one. Then we have wild animals, which is that one. So the first one was domestic animals, horses. Domestic animals, sheep was the second one. Wild animals was the third one. Then we have motor gate to right. No, the first one is just a gate. This is just a gate. That's that gate. Then we have a motor gate to the right. That's why we have that arrow, pushing it to the right. Okay, that was for motor gates to the right. So we have a gate that's being pushed to the right. So it's moving to the right. Then you have your motor gate to the left, which means it's a motor gate being pushed to your left. And then you just have a normal motor gate in the middle. So the first one was a motor gate to right, pushing to the right. That's why you have an arrow pushing in that direction. Motor gate to left, which means that it's pushing to the left. That's why you have an arrow pushing to the left. And then you have a motor gate in middle, so there's no arrows. And then you have your railway crossing, which is this one, showing a train on a rail or on a railway. So that's your railway crossing. It's just warning you that there's a train running there. So usually it's where you come to a stop and there's a road running. Maybe the road is running in that direction and there's a train rail running through the road. So it's just warning you there's a rail crossing. So now we'll go to tunnels. This is a tunnel, and then you have height restriction. So it's restricting you if your car is or your vehicle has a height of higher than 4.42 meters. Then we have vehicle length restriction. So the length is restricting you, telling you that your vehicle shouldn't be longer than 15 meters. And then this is a steep ascent and steep descent. Ascent just means incline up, descent means a incline down. And that's what we have. The tunnel, the first one, which was a tunnel. Then the height restriction, it's that one. Then you have your vehicle length restriction, your length restriction, which is that one. Then you have your steep ascent, steep descent, which is ascent moving up, descent moving down, steep ascent, steep descent. So after steep ascent, descent, then we have slow moving heavy vehicles. You should be vigilant. It's just warning you there's slow moving heavy vehicles, on a descending slope. So it's basically slow moving heavy vehicles. That's that one, slow moving heavy vehicles. And then you have gravel road begins. So it's showing you like there's the tar section of the road, and then it's showing like those dots everywhere. That's just showing you that the road is actually breaking into a gravel road. And then you have narrow bridge, which means that you're passing a river or bridge that's very narrow. So the slow moving heavy vehicles is this one, with a heavy vehicle driving in front and telling you that you should be vigilant because you might bump into one if you drive too fast. Then you have a gravel road. I said beginning, so it's a gravel road begins, which means it's this one here, gravel road beginning, showing you that you're moving from a tar road now to a gravel road. And then you have your narrow bridge, so it's warning you that it's becoming narrow, the bridge. It might be a one direction or not a one direction, but a one vehicle wood structure, so it's just warning you that it's narrowing, the bridge is narrowing. So that one is the narrow bridge sign, narrow bridge. And then you have your one vehicle wood structure, so which means that only one vehicle can drive there. So if you're coming from the front and there's a car waiting for you from this direction, or there's a car coming from this direction, and then it should wait for this car to pass, and then it can actually move on that road because it's a one vehicle wood structure. And then you have your road narrows from both sides, so the road is becoming smaller, but from both the left and the right side. So the first one was one vehicle wood structure, which was this one, showing you only one vehicle can drive there. And then the road narrows from both sides, showing you that first the road was like, the distance was big from this point to that point, and then it became narrower from that point to that point. And then you have your road narrows from right, so from the right side the road is becoming smaller. And then your road narrows from left, so from the left side your road is becoming smaller. So that's what they mean with road narrows. Road narrows from right, road narrows from left. And then you have your uneven roadway, which means your road is uneven. And then you have your speed hump, like they call it a bump, but it's not a speed bump, it's a speed hump, because it's basically humping, it's breaking the speed. That's why they call it a speed hump. So the first one is uneven roadway, and then speed hump. So uneven roadway, and you have your speed hump. Uneven roadway could be, when you move from a tarred road to a gravel road, then you might also find a symbol of the road is becoming uneven. And then speed humps is usually, you will see them, like they basically break the speed, they're humping the speed. And then you get your slippery road, and then you get your falling or fallen rocks from your right, so it's falling from your right side, it's falling from here, so it's slippery roads. And then falling or fallen rocks from your right. And then you have your falling or fallen rocks from your left, so rocks falling from your left. And then you have your general warning sign, which is, and then the first one was falling or fallen rocks from your left, and then the second one was general warning sign, which was an exclamation mark. And then you have your emergency flashing light sign, and then you have your jetty edge or riverbank, which is just warning you should be careful because there's a jetty edge, which means a a steep down, after coming maybe gently to a certain point, and then there's a jetty edge or there's a riverbank, and then you get your crosswind is this one. So first one was your jetty edge or riverbank, and then the second one was your crosswind. Crosswind is usually when you're driving and then there's a wind swaying that might sway your car, so it might get your car from across, and then you get your drift. The drift is basically like where there's a ditch in the road and you might find water piling up there, so that's what they call a drift. So you should be careful because you might come into a ditch where there's water lying somewhere. And then you have your low flying aircraft, which is this one. So the first one was a drift, and then the second one was a low flying aircraft. And then you get agricultural vehicles. This is agricultural vehicles, warning you that there's agricultural vehicles. The first one warns you there's airplanes, low flying aircrafts, and the second one warns you there's agricultural vehicles moving there. So the first one, low flying aircrafts, and then the second one is agricultural vehicles. And that's it for your symbolic signs. But that's only some examples. So the next section or the next video we will discuss hazard marker signs and then warning sign combinations, and also location sign symbols and direction sign symbols that will be on your next video.